Hey guys, Paragearusa back for another war recap. This time we went against level 6 clan Sparta. Horrible name for them because we got the perfect war and they didn't even fill their own war castles. So I'm pretty sure the Spartans in Sparta would not appreciate that. They would probably want to kick their ass right now. So we will. Let's see what they attacked me. Yeah, I almost put my base on blast, but not gonna. Let's see. Let's see what they've done over here. Horrible. What was that? 33%? Really? I tested out a new base, so. And this is my. I changed my name to Lexdicia. If you don't get it, sorry for you. I'm going to run through some of these. We got 40 in this war. We'll run through some of these. I'm going to play some Lewis Black, the comedian. I think he's hilarious. I'm going to make sure I mention him in the video, which I'm doing right now, and in the description to avoid any copyright issues. Hopefully they won't mute it. If they do, I'm just going to have to record the video again. So here we go.
Wait. You're starting to freak me out. Thank you. All I can say is it must have been a really shitty winter. This is more than I can handle. But it is always good to be back in Minneapolis. You know. But I've got to say that.
Man, I don't know how we match these guys. It's horrible.
Than I've ever been to see myself. This is a fun evening for you. I have to live with this shit every moment. And it's fucking exhausting. You know, every morning I get up and stumble into the bathroom and brush my teeth, and eventually I have the courage to open my eyes, look in the mirror, and I go, fuck! You again! Before we continue, I just want to take a moment to warn those of you in the crowd this evening that have really never seen my comedy. Because this could be a long night for you. All right. I know that you're out there. You sneak in. You've had friends of yours who said, hey, come along. This will really be a lot of fun. You just may need to find new friends. And I'm sure there's a website where you can do that. Then, of course, there's those of you who see me on YouTube and on any Comedy Central, any of the things that are out there that you can catch me on, and you think from those bits and pieces you know my comedy, and you don't. Finally, of course, there are those of you who read the paper or saw somewhere that a comedian was coming to the State Theater, and wouldn't that be a fun night out? You're fucked. God, the discourse in this country is completely disintegrated in the past few years, and it's really reached the point where when I listen to both sides, what I actually hear are dogs barking. I'm serious. I wish they just brought out dogs to bark at each other, and a different breed every week. You know, it would be great. But as a result of that discourse going to hell, I have discovered that members of the audience during my set will actually get up and storm out of the room. And that pisses me off. Because in my heart, I am an entertainer. And that kind of shit will not go down with me. But then I began to understand that people, when they come to see me, they're coming to see a comic. And so they expect the comic to be funny. And who can blame them for that? But I really am a different kind of a comic. A lot of the shit that comes out of my mouth isn't fucking funny. And yet, people laugh their dicks off at it. So if you're sitting there and I say something that upsets you, disturbs you, irritates you, angers you, don't you dare. I mean, don't you dare get out of your seat and storm out of the room like some sissy fucking pansy. You sit there, because I have just wasted some of my time with you, explaining to you that I agree with you. Another way I can put this is that I was recently performing in Wendover, Nevada. I can tell by your stunned silence you don't even know what I'm talking about. There really is a city. It's called Wendover. Yes, it's in Nevada. How did you miss it? And it takes an entertainer with a lot of courage to end up in Wendover. I like to perform in places that nobody in their right fucking mind would go to. And I love Wendover. And the reason you haven't Heard of it is because it's a shithole. No, you know a place is a shithole when the people who live there have nicknamed the place. So you say, great to be in Wendover, and they go, no, Bendover. It's truly in one of my top 3 places to kill yourself. If you're thinking of suicide, you may want to hop about 6 planes to get there tomorrow. And what you will see is 7 casinos, trailer parks as far as the eye can see. No foliage! No foliage anywhere! And you will take a good look around and realize that there's nothing to distract you from your mission. You'll hop right to it. Or it may work to your advantage. You'll take a look around and go, wow, I thought my life was shitty. Wendover is located right, and I mean right smack dab on the border of Utah. Now, why would they build 7 casinos on the border of Utah? Who lives there? Mormons and people in the witness protection program. So they built it so that Mormons could sneak in to gamble, and I saw them as night was falling coming over the hills in their covered wagons. If you're looking for a newspaper that you can read every day and feel absolutely great when you finish it, it's the Wendover Times. It has no news. None. I don't even know why they call it a newspaper. It just should be called paper. Or El Papel, if you will. They had a picture of me on the front page. I guess to warn the good people of Wendover that a Jew had arrived in town. And so there might be sarcasm in the area. They said about my comedy that he is known for his comedy style, which often includes mental breakdowns. That's certainly a press clipping you want to send home to Mom. Who were they trying to attract to the theater? The clinically insane? Someone who's been locked up for years because they have 16 personalities? They get a copy of the Wendover Times. Look who's coming to town. Louis Black, he's a piece of shit. I've never liked that son of a bitch. Hey, everybody calm down. I think it's time for lunch. That argument could go on for weeks. So, if at any point during my act I pull out a kazoo and shove it up my ass, I begin playing the Star Spangled Banner, You have nothing to worry about. It's all just a part of my act. As I've grown older, um, each year I've dropped holidays from my calendar that I don't think apply anymore. And this year I'm proud to say that I dropped Valentine's Day. Now, let's get it, clear things up. I'm not saying we shouldn't have a holiday of love. Just not in fucking February! It doesn't belong there. It does not belong there. And if you ladies want this holiday, because it's your holiday, we're not going to even argue about that, are we? Because if you don't realize that men don't give a shit about it, and they don't, and if your husband is telling you that he does, then you have tortured him like some kind of prisoner of war. It's February. The holiday doesn't belong in February. When should we celebrate it? In the spring! When a man can feel his nuts again. It's February.
Uh-oh.
I never met a motorcycle I didn't like, and we will get along fine.
There we go.
It's February. It's the most depressing month of the year. How do we know that? Because we made it shorter, and it still seems fucking longer. Sometimes it's endless. Why would you pick the most depressing month of the year to remind many people they're alone? It's 6 weeks after Christmas. Really? Are you kidding me? Didn't I just buy you a splendid pile of shit? I spent months putting it together. Going to specialty stores, I got online, went to the mall to make sure you got everything your little heart desired. And I wrapped each and every one of them, because I didn't want to have that fucking argument again. It's not a present unless you wrap it. You said they were the nicest gifts you'd ever received. You said it was the most wonderful Christmas of your life. And now, 6 weeks later, you have the balls to come to me and say, it wasn't enough. Well, my little gumdrop, I've got a surprise for you. Go fuck yourself! It's February. It's the height of flu season. Honey, do you love me? I'll tell you when I can get the hock out of my throat. We're gonna go to a really nice restaurant, aren't we? And have a really romantic meal. Oh yeah. We're gonna go to the nicest restaurant on the planet because money's no object. Because that's how much I love you. And we're gonna do that when I can get to the car. Without shitting my pants! Happy Valentine's Day. I had a revelation Christmas before last. It occurred when a terrorist got on a plane with explosives strapped around his dick. And his mission was to blow up Detroit. I was waiting. Some of you didn't seem to get that that was the punchline. I mean, he'd have been hard-pressed to find a building left to blow up. It's unbelievable to me. I wondered for a long time, you know, why Detroit? And it was just recently revealed that he was planning on going to Houston or Chicago, but the ticket to Detroit was cheaper. As frightening as that was, just as frightening was what occurred right afterwards. It occurs whenever there's a terrorist threat or attack. The TSA, Homeland Security has a breakdown. It's the debate that goes on between the Democrats and the Republicans over which party is better equipped to protect us, the American people, from terrorism. If you truly believe that your party, after all that has transpired, that you believe that your party is better equipped than the other party to protect us from terrorism, then you, and I'm saying this as a friend, are fucking delusional! There's nothing to be debated, okay? You better fucking get that now. If you don't get this, if you don't realize that both parties have a vested interest in keeping us, the American people, alive, then you've missed the point. They need us to keep living, so those idiots will have someone to fucking talk to. Because if we die, they will only have themselves to talk to, and then they will die. What has to happen?
I waste another minute. Wishing we were different.
Yeah.
I am who I am, I guess.
There's an ad. Okay.
When something like that occurs is that both parties have to then go off together and discuss what needs to be done. If they really desperately need to debate, then each party should pick someone to tell us which of them has the better nipples. We don't have time for that debate. Why? Because we Americans have shit to do. It's, look, the reason I know that neither party is better equipped than the other party in terms of protecting us is because both parties were to blame for what happened on that day. And how do I know that? Because of, and now I'm going to say a word that's going to come as a shock to you. I know it because of a fact. That's a word you never hear. Democrats and Republicans believe that what they tell you about the fact is actually the fact itself. And it isn't a fucking fact! The fact is that both parties were to blame because neither parties, in the 8.5 years from 9/11, were capable of getting the list of names of all of the terrorists and the would-be terrorists to all of the airports in the world. They just couldn't do it. I don't think you understand how long 8.5 years really is, do you? Imagine if your child came back from college and then spent the next 8.5 years with you. It would even feel like 20, wouldn't it? 8.5 years. Meanwhile, during that time, cell phone companies were capable of turning my cell phone into a fucking television set! But the Democrats and the Republicans couldn't get it out. They just couldn't get it done. It was too hard. Makes me squeeze my pee-pee. That's how hard it was. What did they? Did the fuckers run out of Mimeo paper? There was nobody around to collate? Eight and a half years ago, I could have gotten a barge and taken it to the harbor of New York City where I live, and in that barge, I could have filled it up with donkeys, stem to stern, packed with donkeys, and on the back of each and every donkey would be a list of the names of all the terrorists or would-be terrorists, and I could have pushed that barge away from shore. And I believe that in that 8.5 years, one of those donkeys, just by accident, would have stumbled into an airport somewhere. The other reason that I know that both parties were to blame is because neither the Democrats nor the Republicans or anyone that we have hired whose job it is on a daily basis to come up with scenarios over what a terrorist might do, that nobody within the borders of the United States at any time had the thought that there would be a terrorist with explosives strapped around his neck, and that he would try to blow up Detroit. Maybe the homeless guy on my block who wears aluminum foil on his head in order to protect himself from electromagnetic waves, and who among us can blame him for that? Maybe on his rounds he stopped at a fire hydrant and went, you know, I have it on good authority that there's a terrorist with explosives strapped around his dick. And he's gonna blow up Detroit. Don't tell anybody. Since 9/11, it is harder for us to focus on terrorism, which is why it's important that the Democrats and the Republicans do their job. It's harder for us because we've become more distracted. There are distractions everywhere. It doesn't help to say to us, you, the American people, keep an eye out. What? We're not? And a lot of people, when they see something odd, think, especially in your state, in Minneapolis, because you guys empathize with fucking anything. Seriously, how else do you elect Michelle Bachmann? I know she sounds crazy, but maybe it's just me. I mean, it doesn't help us when some of the guidelines that seem to be out there are things like when you go to the airport and you're traveling internationally.
Oklahoma's new 2016 outdoor guide is full of the state's most spectacular activities and destinations.
Ads are ridiculous.
Things like when you go to the airport and you're traveling internationally, and they say, did a stranger pack your bags? How does that help you find a terrorist? Because if the person answers yes, you've learned one thing. That person is fucking out of their mind. Oh yeah, I got out the phone book and I'm so tired of packing myself. And I just flipped to a page and closed my eyes, and they came right over. And they do a nice thing with socks, and I finally learned how to fold my t-shirts. We are distracted. You explained how it's possible that I don't watch the Jersey Shore ever. And yet, I know the names of all the people on that show. I don't think that's right. Even if I didn't have a television or an internet or a cell phone or any other way that I could be communicated with about them, if I had none of those, I would still know the names of 2 of them. Just by walking into a bookstore, which is where I saw that Snooky and JWoww had both written books. What kind of fucking names are Snooky and JWoww? What adult names their child after a snack treat? I'm in a bookstore. Faulkner, Hemingway, Tolstoy, JWoww, Snooky! Are you shitting me? Makes me pine for Wendover. Another way that we're distracted is that many Americans spend a lot of time downloading apps or applications into their phone. And they want to get just the right amount so that they will feel like a whole person. I can tell by the puzzled look on some of your faces that you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. That's because I'm really cutting edge. If you don't know what an app or an application is, when you get home tonight, I want you to get down on your hands and knees and thank whatever God it is that you pray to for the fact that you don't know what an application is. Because you will maintain a portion of your brain that will serve you in good stead until the day you die. But some of you out there better watch just how many applications you're downloading into your phone, because I believe there is a critical mass that you will reach. And when you do that, that part of your brain will die! And you will lay in bed at night and go, I didn't have a thought today. One of the most popular applications that there is and there's a variety of people who put them out. It's the application that allows you to tap into your phone the following: where is the best place to eat sushi in this neighborhood? And your phone will tell you. I believe if you're standing on any block in America and you're asking an inanimate object, where's the best place to get raw fish? You've lost your fucking mind. I know about losing one's mind because when I was younger, I took LSD just to prepare me for the technological revolution. I would never tell anyone to try LSD. It is not a drug you suggest to people. It scared the shit out of me because for 30 minutes while on it, I lost my name. That's right. It's a lot different than forgetting your name. If you forget your name, it's still in here. You may find it. If you lose your name, it's out there. It could be anywhere, and you may need to buy a plane ticket to go find it.
All right, guys, that's the end of the recap. Hopefully this will upload. Again, that was Lewis Black. Lewis Black and God We Rust was his stand-up that time. And I guess that's it. I don't know how much time we have left in this war. 3 hours, 3 minutes. Perfect war. On to the next one. Until next time, keep clashing.